Florida's Orange Opportunity Sales Event is going on now.
Be with you in a minute. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
We're live. Hey, Deep South. Howdy, neighbors. Well, finally, you know, we had a chance to just have a relaxing weekend where we've just had all day to lounge around and get ready for the live show.
Well, at a campsite that was 2 hours away from home.
we blew in here, spitting out gravel behind the camper trailer, and had to bail out and didn't even unhook it, and had to run.
And I don't have greasy hair. I have wet hair from selling chickens in the rain. But
yeah.
Woohoo! Yay!
Look at that. In case you didn't notice, that's a Benjamin Franklin, boys and girls.
Yay!
And we don't have one of them black light things, so we can just only assume it's real. But
and look,
guess how many chickens we sold to get that? Take a wild guess. How many chickens we sold to get a $100 bill? Wrong. 4. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't even have to take my shoes off to count that.
Yeah, but they probably cost us a lot more than this $100 bill.
Yeah, they probably did. They probably did.
I raised them and some other ones from the time they were babies, and those were the 4 that's left. And
those were American breasts.
Yeah.
Bresse. They are based on the French breasts, but years and years ago, the original stock were kind of probably smuggled into the country. We didn't do it.
We didn't do it.
But anyway, so all the breasts sold in America have to be called American breasts. Look that up. They're a fancy high dollar bird, as you can tell, because we 4 of them.
But don't get too attached to that, because
Yeah, I'm not.
I already thought about just a while ago what I'm doing with this.
What?
I'm not buying any more chickens. I thought, what kind of chickens do I want? I really don't want any more chickens. I'm going to build some new chicken houses. With my new idea that I have.
Okay, good.
Portable, lightweight chicken houses that I can move.
Okay, good.
So
That sounds
it's
good.
spoken for, and I'll need a little bit extra though.
So anyway, we came skidding in right under the wire, and you know we like to have little movie clips to show you. And is my audio hot? On my meter, it looks like it's awfully hot. Y'all tell me if I'm too loud, because the audio meter is really spiking up, and I can pull it down. Just let me know. But I came in and pulled up some video and took some screenshots and to build a library of things we could show you during the show. And you know what happens when you get in a hurry. There's only 2 things that rush: rivers and fools. And I was one of those. I'm not a river. And so I lost them. I don't know where they went. I'm sure I'll find them as soon as the live show's over. So right under the wire, I was able to at least grab a couple of little things, because we did have an eventful week.
We really did. We've gotten a lot done. I'm pleased. And, you know, Kitty just said that she has been working on her garden plans. That's one thing I've been working on, too.
Tell them about that.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find that.
Last year, I played around with the program, didn't really do much with it. And this year, me and Tony was talking about it, and I was drawing out my garden and everything. And we went out and measured my garden and all this. And because I have boxes and I have rows, and we're wanting to go to wide rows and, you know, kind of change things around, kind of do some no-till. I mean, of course, my boxes are no-till, but I wanted to do wide rows and hopefully do no-till on them and build those beds up. But anyway, so I found on Mother Earth News, they have a garden planner, and it's free for 7 days, and I don't know what it costs to subscribe to it or whatever. But so I've been playing with that, and it's really cool because, you know, it tells you how many plants you can get in a certain area and stuff like that. So. And
I just posted a link in the chat to the garden planner.
But I really, really like it.
Hi, Susan.
So that's what I've been playing with that this week. But it does, you know, now that I've learned the program, it's a lot easier and everything. I first drew my boxes with sticks, and then I saw that there's a little thing where you can make your boxes, and it's easier to enlarge and all this. So, but I really like that. And so I've got my garden all planned out, and I'm not going to have way too many plants because, of course, show them the greenhouse. I have seeded planted a lot of my seeds already, and they're coming up. I went and
all I
watered
got
them.
was 2 pictures. Is that all you
Yeah, I
sent?
just sent 2 pictures, and you can just see, well, when they puts the picture
Yeah.
up, you can see some of the green starting to come up. On the back row, the little green you can see is mostly lettuce back there. And then the one closest to you in this picture, that's sunflowers coming up. And then the front tray that's in the middle is actually my Japanese long cucumber. And I thought last year I tried to get the seed, and the year before that I did too. But last year I found some seed that I had saved from 2012, and it had just been on a shelf in the office. And I don't really know why it's there, because it was way away from all of my other seeds. And so I planted some last year, and it came up, but I didn't have a good harvest last year, and I didn't let any go to seed. But I had a few left, and so I think just about every one of those have come up. But they're selling them again at Baker Creek Seed.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and ordered me some. I will try and save seed too, because that's a cucumber that, if you like sliced cucumbers or like to make sliced pickles, and I even make whole dill pickles out of them, and they're as long as your arm just about, and they're still tender, and they have very small seeds in them, so they're very, very
Those
good
photographs
cucumber.
were taken about 2 minutes prior to showtime.
Yeah, I texted him, and I meant to take a picture of my incubator too.
Okay,
so,
everybody's saying that the volume is fine, so
Okay,
it
good,
just looks
good.
like it's spiking up. Oh, Kitty said that's the planter that they're using.
Oh
and
yeah,
there's a saver, yeah.
Isn't it fun?
And there's a way that I can share our garden plan, but it's really convoluted. I'm a little frustrated with Mother Earth. I want to send them a note and say, this looks like a DOS program. The graphical interface is not. It kind of leaves something to be desired, and it's kind of convoluted. The process you have to go through to share your garden plan. It's just not straightforward. But if I figured out how to do that, I could send you a link to. And in fact, I did share it on Facebook or somewhere. I think,
I didn't
but
see it.
it's not quite as straightforward as you would think, that you can just share it and you can go look at it. But keep an eye out on our Facebook page and whatnot, and eventually you'll find a link where you can actually go see our garden plan.
Yeah, but the bad thing about it is that I don't know if ours is going to look quite as pretty as it does on the computer screen. Cause
No, but you know what?
it really is cool to see it on there and see what you can work towards.
But what did it motivate us to do? What did we say after looking at your garden plan?
That we
Yeah.
could
We really need to work to stay
Have a-
ahead. Which
yeah.
the reason we didn't last year is because of that crazy weather, where it just poured down rain, and next thing you know, it got ahead of us. But it looked so neat on that garden plan. It was like, we really need to work hard to stay ahead of the grass and stuff in between the rows and all that. So that was pretty cool.
Susan asked, what part of Mississippi are we in?
We are just outside of Brookhaven, Mississippi, which is approximately 50 miles due south of the capital city of Jackson. We are approximately 2 hours north of New Orleans, 1 hour east of Natchez, hour and a half west of Hattiesburg. So if that helps at all. But
Yeah, and Susan wasn't here at the very beginning. I explained, yes, my hair is wet. It's not greasy. We ran in from a camping trip, and I had to meet somebody to sell them some chickens, and so I had to do that in the rain.
in the rain, yeah. So hey,
but-
Danny and Wanda, it's raining here.
Yes, we're having. It's a nice little drizzle too. It's not pouring down, so
So
won't wash my seeds away.
we've been gone, and we'll talk about our being gone here in a minute. But you did accomplish something else. Well, I guess I helped a little, but not very much.
Right.
She does everything. But before
Include tell him what to do.
yeah, include telling me what to do. But I asked, what do you want me to do? So anyway, before we left though, you got something else accomplished. What did you get accomplished before we left?
Well,
You just tended to it right before you came in here.
I got the incubator loaded.
Got an incubator loaded and going.
Yeah, I have 30 Delaware eggs in there, and I have 27
Freedom.
No. I have 30 Freedom Rangers, I have 27 Delaware, and I think I have 9 midget white turkey eggs in the incubator. So.
Well, and they're not Freedom Ranger eggs. They're Freedom
That's
Ranger
right.
Bielefelder.
Yeah.
The Freedom Rangers are the female. The hens are Freedom Rangers.
Yeah.
And the male is going to be one of several Bielefelder roosters. So we're curious to see those suckers, though. Those doggone Freedom Ranger hens. I mean, how often do you think we get a double yolk egg out of one or?
There's one out there right now.
Is there really?
There is. It's huge.
Every couple of days we get a humongous egg off of one of those. I guess it's one. I don't know how that works, if it's the same hen or what.
I would think it is.
There may be two, because there have been days I've gone out there and there's two. But there's at least one of those hens with a tremendous frequency lays a double yolk egg. It's amazing. So I'm curious to see what their offspring will do. And the other thing, and we didn't do it today because we blew in and didn't have time to think about it really, but did we talk about last week sequestering that handful of Delaware?
Yeah, well, we were headed out to do that.
We did it in the dark. In fact, we did it. We posted a video moving chickens in the dark.
Yes.
Yeah, so they've been in there 7 days, locked up in a coop. It's 10 or 11. It ended up being 11.
11, yeah.
There's 11 Delaware hens and a big old Rhode Island red rooster.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to breed those together after 3.5 weeks from last Sunday. Right? We decided it was 3.5 weeks. We'll start collecting those eggs to incubate, because it takes approximately 3.5 weeks to make sure that any, I'm probably not saying this right, but let me put it this way. The effects of any previous Delaware sperm in the hen will have run its course. And after 3.5 weeks, you can be certain that the fertilized eggs will have been fertilized by that Rhode Island red rooster.
And what I've read, it says 2 to 4 weeks. 3 to 4 is better, because last year I tried to do some and I thought they should be pure, and I got some mixed breeds, and I didn't understand that, and so I looked it up, and they said sometimes it can take as long as 4 weeks. 3.5 weeks is my time frame, because I want to go ahead and get them in the incubator where I can have Easter chicks. My goal is to collect their eggs, and the roosters sell off as my little Easter chicks, and sell the hens for people that want a flock of chickens. So to lay eggs for them. So
anyway, anytime you move chickens into a new coop area, you need to keep them locked up in there. For our experience has been at least a week, at a bare minimum 5 days, at least 7 days, maybe 10 or better, for them to realize that that's their new home. Now, we were happy that they almost immediately started laying in the new nest boxes, and for them, it not only was a new nest box, but it was a new geometry, because the nest boxes in the coop they're in are elevated up off the ground, and the ones they had been laying in were low to the ground. Well, they found them almost immediately. Now, we'd find an egg or two on the ground, but most of them in there were faithfully climbing up, getting in the high nest boxes and going in there. But they're still in sight of their former pen, and so we want to make sure. We may leave them in there three or four. We may go a full 10 days.
Yeah, and since I have this money right here, my money right
Well, hang on before you go talking about your money again. The idea being that you want to make sure they have that they've acclimated to that area as their home. If we would have just put them in there, locked them up overnight, let them out the next day, as soon as they hit the ground, they'd have been jumping fences trying to.
Well, yeah, because we already separated them one time. And it was in the evening when it was still daylight. We separated them, we clipped their wings and everything else.
Yeah.
But they were only separated by a fence. When we woke up the next morning, none of them were there. They were all back.
In the previous time, I don't know what we were thinking.
I know.
We just weren't thinking, because we moved them to a place that really didn't have a coop we could lock up. But we could have. We could have taken wire or something and closed in that hog house.
Yeah, we could have.
But
still, just that one fence between them, we still may have had issues.
Still may have had issues. But this way, I'm fully convinced that, especially if we wait another 3 days to make it a full 10 days, they've locked up in there with food and water. They know that's where their food and water is. At the end of 10 days, we'll be able to open that thing, and they won't even think about going to where those other chickens are.
Yeah, well, and they've reacclimated to a rooster too. That's their
right. They got them a new man.
Yeah.
So,
but my thoughts, I really want to be able to move chickens over in front of my mama's house, and we're going to need to build a new house that we can move over there. And so, or we can build it over at Mama's, and it's because her whole front yard is really big.
Yeah.
And we really want to use our chickens where we can move them around, because the grass, it really helps the grass and everything to grow. When you run your chickens in an area, if you don't let them, kill the grass,
if you don't leave them too long,
yeah, and if you can move them around, and that's my goal, is to have different areas that I have chickens in, that we can move them around that area with it, and I'll get an electric fence and put up for them over there. So I may not even let them out of the house we move those chickens to. I may move them straight over to Mama's.
It was astounding back, and if you look way back on our channel, because it was probably 2 years ago, where we had that chicken tractor and we were just in the backyard, and we would have those chickens in there, and if we moved them faithfully, after a day or two, every time we moved them, by the time their poop got settled into the soil, we had these squares of the richest, darkest green grass you've ever seen, and it was just amazing. It looked like big pieces of carpet where that chicken house had been, where the chicken tractor had been, and they had just fertilized that ground. But then we also had some that they burned it slap up because we didn't move them as fast as we needed to move them.
But I'm going to tell you this: we did the electric net fencing when we first put the breasts out, and it was out in the front of our house, and it was just a smaller area. It's 165 foot. And where they were, it was just 4 of them in there, and where they were, it was so lush and green, and everywhere around it, it was like nothing even grew. It was like gone through a drought,
like an oasis in there.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so when I took that fence down and let the goats out, they just loved it. They just went straight to it. So that's my goal, is to be able to run the chickens maybe behind the animals and move them, and let them scratch around and distribute the manure and everything, where we can grow, lush pastures and everything.
Yeah. So,
but I wanted to address something here.
Hey, before you do, let me do one more thing, and then
Oops, sorry,
then I'm gonna have to get up for a second and go plug in this laptop because the battery's running down.
Okay, I need to.
I don't know if y'all had a chance to observe. My wife sometimes is a little bit sadistic. And no, that's not true, because she really wasn't trying to do this to me. But
well, wait, I want to explain something first.
What?
Well, just wait just a minute.
I hadn't even shown it yet.
Well, I know, but I got these delicious things, and what's the nut house? What's the lady's name?
JM.
At the nut house, she sent me these wonderful ginger, organic, orange, ginger chews. I said organic, all natural. But anyway, they are just amazing. So, I don't know where
Yeah, wait, now then those are good, right?
Yeah, these are just amazing. They're so good. And I
might have threw that other one away.
Anyway.
I might have burned it.
So, I placed an order with this company. I won't name its name. But anyway, they had some ginger chews. So I thought, I don't have many left in this bag.
Delicious ginger chews.
These really are.
Yeah, these are. The ones that JM sent us really are.
Anyway, so I took a bite of one, just a bite. It's a little square. I said, here, taste this. And so he did. And I didn't think it was that bad.
It was bad. Y'all, you got to understand, I'm not faking here. This is not a pose for the sake of the camera. And what did I say to you?
It tastes like soap.
It's soap. This is soap. That's what I said.
Are you sure this is supposed to be eating this? This tastes like soap.
And then if you look real close, I don't know if you want to look real close at my tongue, but you can see it. It's in there. It is on top of my tongue, inside my mouth. Y'all.
They're not.
It was so bad.
I will Google these and
I'll
get these.
I'll eat one of these right now.
Yeah, no, don't eat it. It's going to be too hard for you to be chewing away.
No, I'll eat one of these. No, these are good. So JM, thank you for these. These are fantastic.
I like them.
They set the bar pretty high for ginger treats. And I still think Patty misread the bag, and those are like soap crystals or something that you're supposed to put in your bath to peel your skin off.
I won't eat any more of those, but I'm glad I didn't order a couple bags of them. I just ordered one little bag.
That's in my mouth.
Okay. Anyway, I wanted to say
They're
something,
good.
and I forgot now because Corey called.
You wanted to say something about that. Let me, I'm going to step
Not
away
about
and
this.
plug in the computer right quick.
No, because Amy told me to talk about my meat chickens that I was telling them about in the group. The eggs that I have in the incubator, the 30 eggs. Yeah, the 30 eggs are Freedom Ranger Cross Bielefelder. And the Bielefelder, I think I've told y'all before, is a German breed meat chicken / egg layer. And they lay a lot of eggs. They lay good. And they're just a beautiful chicken. And they're supposed to lay a large egg, especially their second year of laying. It's supposed to be a very large egg. But anyway, I'm experimenting and crossing them together. And also I'm going to hatch out some Bielefelder for meat. I'm trying to go to a meat bird that will naturally breed. With the Freedom Rangers, of course, once these Freedom Ranger hens are gone, we won't be having any more of them, possibly. Unless, I don't think she's going to see it, Daddy.
Well, it's because she sees you. She wants her mama.
But anyway, so that's what I'm doing. The carcass of the Freedom Ranger cross with a Bielefelder, it won't be near as big, but it should still be meatier than just your normal laying breed. And your Bielefelder is supposed to be bigger too. We haven't eaten any Bielefelders yet, but just in handling them, they're a heavy bird.
Heavier bird, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about being able to grow my own meat here on the farm naturally. And I don't know, the Bielefelder may even sit their nest. I'm not sure. So
I don't know. They hadn't yet.
No, they haven't tried to sit yet.
Well, but we pick up their eggs, so.
Yeah. But anyway, but I am pleased to tell you that I've had a midget white turkey trying to sit. And so I'm encouraged about that too.
2, actually.
Yeah, there's another one out there trying to sit too. So I'm very encouraged about that because, you know, for my own personal meat production or chick production, I would much prefer the hens to raise their own, because then you don't have to buy the chick starter and all that. Now, when I'm selling to the public, it's much easier if I hatch them out. While I can hatch them out in the incubator, that's what I'm going to do to sell to the public. So, and I typically will sell out, all the chicks that I hatch.
Yeah.
And I'm excited going to doing the sex link chickens too. I think I'll sell them a lot better, being that they'll be sexed. And also the Bielefelder is naturally sexed too when they hatch.
Yeah, they're not quite as clear.
It's not as easy, yeah, but they have like a chipmunk mark on their back.
Yeah.
And I believe that's going to be the hens.
And we saw some that, is it a mark there or is it? I mean, so.
But in all of our thinking, I think we were right. There was that one that was iffy, but it was a rooster.
Oh, okay.
Because we only ended up with the 2 hens, so.
All right, so, boy, we are so, oh man, Deep South got some candy corn made with honey.
I'm catching back up on the chat now, y'all.
Yeah, Homestead Mama, we can spell Bielefelder now, and that's not right. But Suburban, that's close, but not it either. I think it's Bielifelder. It's either BEI or BIE. I think it's BEILIFELDER. And the reason they're called Bielefelder is because they are from the German region of Bielefeld. So, like I would be that's right. I think Suburban's got it. I think I misspelled it. It's not, it's Bielefelder. BIE or BEI. I'm going to have to trust you, Suburban, because that looks right. BIELE, not LI. LEFELDER. Pronounced Bielefelder. Bielefelder.
Suburban Hill said, the autocorrect. But now when I type it in my phone, something comes up, but I think it's with an I, but it's probably because that's the way I've spelled it. I don't know. But I'm not a speller, so when it comes up, I just go with what they say. But
Amy, we'll look into that.
yeah, Amy, I've never shipped eggs before.
I guess you just put them in a paper bag and put a stamp on them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you would do an egg carton and wrap them. I just don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they probably got something that costs $100 you can put them in. You know, I could buy a Pelican case and put them in there.
I don't know. The lady that I bought them from, she was fairly local. I just drove and met her.
I mean, you got to put, you know, some kind of shock-proof thing because they're going to be throwing them around. I mean, even if it's, we'll look into that. We need to look into it because we may get to the point where people want to buy some eggs from us. Yeah,
right now, I mean, I'm only getting at the most 2 a day because I only have 2 hens. But I'm going to be, you know, I'm still collecting those eggs. I think I'm going to put those in the incubator Monday. I think I have 8 right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get them in the incubator, which I'm keeping all of those. So I probably would just keep adding. And my goal is to each week add some eggs to the incubator. As they start coming out, I have more to put back in where I'll have some stage. Tommy don't know about this because he's got to build me my brooders that I'm going to be able to keep them separated in and everything. But
could we just build a divider in our existing brooder?
But our existing brooder don't exist anymore.
What happened to it?
We used it.
For what?
The wood in the with the billy felders. When we took it apart, we used it around the edges, and it's not good anymore.
Oh, okay.
So,
gosh, so we're gonna have to build a new brooder. How long did that last? How many years service did we get out of that? I don't know. You have to look at the YouTube video. Yeah, I have to look back at the. Well, and it's not that it played out. Yeah. I mean, we just ended up using it for something else. Mm-hmm. So that's no big deal. It's just going to basically cost the cost of 2 4x8 sheets of OSB. Yeah. You know, and might even get it thinner this time and make it a little bit different. But y'all, we have done a terrible job with the chat so far because we just been bumping our gums.
No, I'm trying to keep up with it. Amy says bubble wrap each egg and put them in packing peanuts. So that's easy enough.
Ha!
So
you're a genius.
I'll send you some eggs when
yeah, we can figure that out.
When we get the incubator loaded up.
And then it'll be like, you know, we'll put them in a giant box so you have to dig around and find them.
It'll be an Easter egg.
It'll be an Easter egg on it. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Hence the yes, ma'am. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't get it.
Well, I'm just assuming that. I'm assuming what that means. I guess Lone Star wants to know if you can hatch a double yolk egg. I don't know that we've ever incubated any. But.
Well, I've got 3 in there right now, and I have them marked. I have it marked in the little holder where it's at. So I'm going to see that I think it's double yolk eggs. It should just be twins.
I guess it should be twins. You know, then the question would be how viable are they?
I don't know. If I can catch them hatching. My goal, my plan is to mark them where I can see how they survive and then hang on to them to maybe be layers if they turn out to be hens and to see if they lay double yolks.
Yeah, I wonder how that trait is transferred. You know,
I don't know, but somehow it is because I think in the store you can buy, I think in some stores you can buy double yolk eggs, you know, like a dozen double yolk eggs. So I don't know if that's, you know, a trait that's handed down, or if just in these egg houses they know that they're double yolks, so they go to a different area.
Sheps for Her said somebody did a video on YouTube about it. So
good.
All right, Mother Many Horses said generally a double yolker won't hatch successfully, but there is the exception to the rule.
Oh, okay.
There's a video of one hatching with assistance. So, and it was twins, Mom. That's Mother of Many Horses. I just said Mom. You know. Short, but I guess it's Mama. But anyway, yeah, pretty rare. I would think so too. I would think that they're fragile little critters to begin with, and I just would think that 2 of them in such a small area, they'd have to be so small because that the egg is bigger than a normal egg, but it's not giant, you know, it's not like twice the size of a normal egg.
Yeah, I mean, they get pretty big. Amy, that would be great. She said she's got a friend that's got a YouTube video. She's going to send it to me on how to pack eggs. So that would be great.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't mind doing that at all.
Yeah. All right.
But, I mean, I don't do all the candling stuff and all that, or whatever you do to know that they're fertile. All I can tell you is I have 2 hens with a rooster.
Yeah.
So
us too, Sheps for her. I'm way back up in this chat here saying that's what looking for a good meat chicken that will reproduce. Yeah, because that's the problem with the Freedom Rangers. They won't. Well, they'll reproduce, but you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you're not going to get a true Freedom Ranger. You're going to get a mix of things, which I don't mind. And I'm gonna talk to my meat customers, and I'm gonna tell them I'm going to something different. You know, although I have tossed around the idea of still, you know, buying the meat chickens and everything, but mainly I want it for us. For us, I want something that we can produce here that can just be for our meat, and I guess I'll sell them too if my customers want that. But it is going to be different for them. If nobody that's ever eaten a hen, you know, just a laying hen, they don't have a clue what a yard chicken, just a plain old yard chicken carcass looks like.
That's right.
And some people would be very shocked at how they would think they were skinny chickens or something. You know? They don't understand how the meat.
Speaking of crossing chickens, I want to tell you something that we Yankee Living hollered at us about after last week when we talked about what we were doing with the Delawares and the Rhode Island Red, and sent me a couple of private messages about tips on selecting the parent stock to create a hybrid. You know, and I said, well, you know, I mean, my thought was we really weren't going all that technical. I mean, we picked 10 of the best looking Delawares, I guess. I mean, they all look good. The Rhode Island Red Rooster was big and
real nice rooster.
Real nice rooster, not aggressive but active rooster. But it seems to me like Yankee Living has got some level of expertise higher than ours. Yeah. And so he agreed to. Gosh, he or she. I don't even know if Yankee Living's. Yes, I do. It's a gentleman, and he's a bearded gentleman because I'm thinking about his channel right now. But anyway, he agreed for us to do a Skype call. It probably won't be this week, but maybe next week, and just pick his brain, and really not pick his brain, just let him talk about some steps to take to ensure the best chance of success for creating a hybrid chicken between 2 different breeds.
Well, and not just a hybrid though. Just as when you're choosing your laying flock that you want to reproduce, you know, just like our Delaware, you know, and hatching out Delaware for our next flock, right? Because you know it has to do with
tips picking the
how
best
wide
layers.
Their pelvis bones are. I may be calling it the wrong thing.
How healthy their vent is, and
but there's stuff when you're really getting into it. There's some information out there that, you know, we can learn if we're just given the information, and he has it. Yeah, so we're gonna. He's agreed to do a Skype call, so we'll be. Just stay tuned for that video. I don't know how soon it'll be, but so anyway, we've gone halfway through our show and hadn't even talked about where we've been. Well, that's true. We went camping.
We did go camping.
We went did to go, something else.
Corey had our youngest son. Corey had a tennis tournament, not a tournament, but a tennis match over in Perkinston, Mississippi, and I'm glad I brought my blood pressure medicine. Don't get me started on that, but I tell you, that was the worst sportsmanship display I've ever seen in my life.
But the other team.
The other team, not our team. Our coaches are great, and our young men and young ladies are gentlemen and ladies on the court. And tennis is a gentleman's sport, you know, and you're supposed to be quiet and complimentary and all that. And they just taunting our players and people in the stands, taunting. I'm talking about making insulting comments. One of our players fell to the ground in a heroic effort to get to a ball. And I ain't figured out yet whether it was the player or his mama.
It was his mama.
His mama said, I hope he's hurt.
And that way they don't have to finish the match.
Are you kidding me? And then the coach wanted to act like our coaches asked him to intervene with. There was a bunch of students who were causing most of the problem, and 2 of the players, 2 of their best players, and just mouthy.
And the thing is, they beat us and they beat us bad.
They're great tennis players.
They're good tennis players. And the thing is, they still would have beat us. Maybe not as bad, because that intimidation factor that they do and everything.
And irritation
the
factor.
irritation, it does affect the other person's game. So I'm not saying they would have won as big as they won, but they still would have won.
They probably should have won because they were good.
They're good tennis players.
They're good.
They're good tennis players.
And but I'm telling you, it was my blood was. I don't get mad. You can ask Patty. I don't get mad, and my hands were like this.
I'm not going to tell him when they come here to play.
My hands were just trembling, and then the coach acted like he didn't have any control. That's not true.
Yeah.
A coach has entire control over his facility. He could have asked those people to. He could have instructed them to stop. If they refused to stop, he could have asked them to leave. If they refused to leave, he could have called campus security or even local law enforcement. That's the way it works. The coach has total control over his or her facility. But the problem is, he didn't want to because he teaches that. He teaches them to engage in the total ungentlemanly psychological warfare in junior college tennis.
And I'm going to tell you something. We're from Louisiana. And we have been around the sports arena. The fast pitch softball is all big. Our nieces played and everything. He played. At college. Now, and when he's in college, fast pitch softball with all those guys and everything. I have never, at basketball, I don't care what sport it is, football, I have never in my life, never seen
the direct personal taunting. Anyway, it's illegal. Yeah. And not only unethical, it's illegal. But anyway, okay, breathe.
But before we went there, no, but I'm going to tell you something. Tommy's talking about how the coach has control and all this. What I had to say, this mama has control. If my kid ever acted like that, he wouldn't be on that court for long because I would take care of it. The coach wouldn't have to deal with it.
Yeah, so anyway, we did have some relaxing time too.
Yes, we did.
And Tomas, a little future angler here, he's so worried about getting his worm hung up in that grass. And but you're fishing to get to see him make a pretty doggone good throw here. Yeah, didn't get it all quite on the screen like I wanted to, but we stayed at a nice little campground, little private campground. We were not sure where we were going to stay, but it was nothing special. They didn't have a whole lot of amenities or anything, but we weren't going to be there. Yeah,
we were hardly there. I really felt a little bad for Tomas because, we got there dark Friday, and so, we just didn't hardly have any time there. But he enjoyed it still, and he likes to go to tennis and everything. So.
And he met a friend too while we were there.
Yeah.
This little dog kept coming over here, and he just was the most playful little thing. And come to find out, we figured he belonged to somebody in the campground, but it turned out he didn't. He belongs to an elderly lady that lives down the road somewhere. But we were told that every day this little dog came over and made the rounds to the campground and just visited everybody. Yeah. We don't even know the dog's name. The people who own the campground don't know the dog's name.
I would love to know what kind of dog he was. He was a neat little dog.
He looked like a miniature Weimaraner, the coloring of that. Now spell that one for me, Susan, because I never have figured out how to spell. Yeah, intimidation. It was just bullying. They were. But anyway, we're past that. Sorry. Breathe.
We haven't so that was not the bullying was not the highlight of the day. There was a highlight to this day.
There was a highlight to this day.
Very good that happened this day.
Yeah, that is that we got to go back to deep South Homestead.
Woohoo!
And y'all, can I just tell you something about that piece of blueberry pie right there?
Oh my goodness!
I'm tell you two things about it.
Recipe.
It didn't last long.
No.
But it was mighty fine, and Tomas liked it.
Yeah, Tomas liked it so much. In the middle of us trying to film a video, he sneaks into my ear and whispers. He said, "Money, that cake was so delicious. I want a second piece."
It was so good, and I knew he was going to like it because what's Tomas's favorite breakfast, Money?
Oh, blueberry. He calls them blueberry pancakes, but it's pancakes that I make blueberry syrup and put on top of.
Yeah, they're just regular pancakes covered with blueberry. syrup. They're not true blueberry pancakes. And he loves it. In fact, Monty surprised him, and we had blueberry pancakes for breakfast this morning. But that's what the cake tasted like. Had a little hint of lemon in it. And Wanda, it was unbelievable. It was so delicious.
So good.
And
so good.
I'm trying to figure out how I managed to only get one piece.
Yeah, I only got one piece too.
Oh well.
That's because we're so busy talking. That's
Yeah,
why.
I guess we need to go back. Yeah, we were.
It was so good.
Yeah. So the idea was we needed to go. All right. So y'all know we're doing the Homestead Heart series, kind of a marriage enrichment about our Patty and my relationship, Danny and Wanda's relationship, from our perspective of having been married 30 years this coming July for us, and 3 years going.
That'll be 4 years in July.
3 years and going on 4 for Danny and Wanda, also in July. And so we've done our introductory videos. They've done theirs. And so we were going to get together and shoot some videos. And we kind of had in our mind, we'd get there, say hello, go sit down and start. But it was such a gorgeous day.
Oh, it was. It was. Yeah, we spent the first hour at least outside.
At least an hour.
Yeah.
And because,
well, I mean, it was, I was so glad. Because the only two things we got to see, really. I mean, we visited inside, and we got
the first time. She's talking about our first trip.
Yeah, we went, and I'm going to call it the barn. I don't know. It's where his processing, Danny's processing room, and the greenhouse is off of it, and his shop. I think he calls it a shop. But anyway, and I was going to say the shelter. What is it, Tommy?
Huh?
You're not listening to me.
No, I'm reading the.
And we just got through talking about communication yesterday.
I'm in the wrong square.
Anyway,
whatever it is, it does like this.
That's under the ground. It's under the ground.
The cellar.
The cellar. Thank
Root
you.
cellar.
The root cellar.
Y'all couldn't see that. She's trying to get me to tell her what this means. You know the
thing. You
know
what that means. Under the ground, because you went around and you went down the ground.
Well, now I understand.
Susan's asking, Tommy, did you see about the float test? Susan, I think we were talking about eggs back then, and the only thing I'm thinking is that you do a float test on eggs to see if they're good or not, but what I was talking about is to know if they're fertile or not, to be able to send. If I send Amy some of the Bielefelder eggs, I don't know about a float test. I know on fresh eggs that are good, they don't float, but if they have air and they've gotten older, they do float. So
yeah, I can't find. I see some other comments about it. Before we go on, Donna S. The 4 we sold for $400 were 2 hens and 2 roosters.
Yeah.
Go figure. But they were breasts, and they're high dollar. I mean,
that's
that was a deal.
That's cheaper than what the place where I bought them originally sells them for, the grown ones. And see, mine were already laying too. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So, but anyway, so we took advantage, and you guys will be glad we did to take advantage of the beautiful sunshine, the beautiful, gorgeous day that we had at Deep South.
It was so nice.
And so we did the tour that we thought we were going to do, or hoping to do, the last time we were there. And I'm almost finished editing it, and so that may get posted later tonight. I won't make it. I won't let it go live till after Jared Stanley at J&J gets through with their show. But so it may be tomorrow, because I do have a little bit left. But it's going to be about 25 minutes or so, and some of it is just footage with music, but a good bit of it is Danny. You can have to watch that video and find out how come he is not only sweet tater, but he is a sugar daddy as well. So he's sweet tater, sugar daddy king. And you got to watch the video to find out why. If you watch this live, by the way, Danny Wanda, we tried our best to watch your show last night.
Oh yeah.
But we were at that campground. I had my cell phone, and all we had was like 3G and barely that. And so we got to hear a little bit, and it would stop, and it wasn't y'all, it was us.
Yes, it was us. Oh, and Wanda's telling about the recipe that it is in her cookbook. So you don't have to send it to me, Wanda, because I have a cookbook. So, and it is the lemon blueberry cake. And you know, the way she explained, it's kind of like it's like a mix between a pie and a cake, and it really was.
It really was so moist.
Yeah, I love the texture of it, and it was very similar to a pie. So
Wanda, post a link to your cookbook.
Yeah, post
please,
a link to that
in our chat. Post a link to your cookbook.
You notice I knew right where to go to get the cookbook. It's sitting right next to my chair. So anyway.
No, Beth, it won't. It will if you leave it in the water for too long, or if you wipe it. Yeah, remove.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. Yeah, typically you don't put the eggs in water unless they're dirty, unless you have to clean them.
Well, I guess that was in reference to the float test and stuff, but you know, just a dip in there long enough to do a float test, that ain't gonna hurt nothing.
But I mean, I wouldn't worry about these eggs not floating because there would be new.
Thank you, Suburban. So that's Weimaraner. See, it even looks a lot now. I can even pronounce it easier once I see it in writing. I'm gonna have to save that chat because that's driven me nuts for a long time. How to spell that? So
there it is. There it is. I'm gonna have to make us this, and Tomas loved it. I found the recipe right there. So anyway, it is in Wanda's cookbook. Yes, it's gluten. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Wanda saying that.
No, yeah, but Wanda, it wasn't your internet. It was us. I mean, like I said, we were
Yeah, because we were out at the campground. So. And
the campground had Wi-Fi, but Patty purposely didn't tell me that. You know, so I wouldn't.
That's right.
I wouldn't ask.
She told me that when I went in there. I said, "Oh no, I've already told my grandson there's no iPad or anything here."
So I just tried to log in on the on 3G. There it is. You can get Wanda's cookbook in their Etsy.com shop. Etsy.com/shop/Deep South Homestead.
Anyway, it was neat going to Wanda and Danny's.
Oh, and it's gluten free.
Well, yeah, she made it for me and Danny. It wasn't for you; it was for me. Oh. See?
Yeah, I got news for you. It tasted.
Tasted gluteny?
You know, well, yeah. It tasted good and gluteny. It tasted gluteny. You ever notice how close gluteny and gluttony is?
Yeah.
And I wonder why that is.
What I was saying is that it was neat going down to Wanda and Danny's. They're 2 hours south of us, or thereabout. And, you know, to see their stuff that's blooming out, the stuff that's growing there, stuff they've planted. Now, Danny's planted butter beans already. He's planted the snap beans already. I can't do that just yet. I'm real close, and we've got a lot of work to do before we can do that. But I can't do that yet because of the freezing. But I can't get my snap beans in the ground before it freezes. And so they're a little ahead.
Our fig tree, for example, is covered with leaves. His fig tree has figs.
Ours does too.
Oh, does it? I told him. I said I wasn't quite sure. I hadn't looked lately, but I know it's covered with leaves.
No,
he's got mulberries all over his mulberry bushes, just exploding with mulberries already.
It's that big, and I didn't realize mulberries was like a tree. I want to get some of those.
Well, bush tree.
No, it's like a tree.
Yeah, I guess it really did.
It wasn't a huge tree, but I think I think they have some that are smaller. But I mean, it gave the appearance of a small tree. It was my height, but you know, it wasn't like a round. It didn't look like a blackberry bush. That's what I expected mulberries to look
okay.
Like. That's like blackberries, and nothing like that.
No, but those mulberry trees were just.
That's cool.
We're just loaded with berries already, and he's got sugar cane. He said a foot. From the distance I looked down, they may have been a foot, but they look like 18 inches to me. And it's just crazy. And his soil is so sandy and loose, and it looked like an alien landscape compared to ours, you know, because ours is so heavy.
I wish Tommy would have got it on camera. Wanda was showing me her carrot bed. And they've just been, instead of, harvesting their carrots and canning them and everything, they've just been using them out of the garden. Well, I squatted down and I touched the soil and everything. And I said, "Oh, y'all put some sand in your bed to make it loose? I've been telling Tommy to go down to the creek and get me a load of sand where I can make a carrot bed." And she said, "That's just our soil." And I was like, "What?
That's just our dirt."
That is our dirt. I'm like, "Oh, okay." I told myself, we mixed their sand and our clay together, we probably have the perfect
soil. Yeah. So. It was, but gosh, it was so loose, and of course, we just need to build our soil up for carrots. But our carrots will be that big around and that long. It just goes, and because
it's hard.
We got hard soil,
and that's one thing about going to the permanent raised beds is that we will be working on the soil. We'll be building the soil, and as we put the compost on and leaves on, it'll help to break down and loosen up our clay.
Yeah.
And not keep bringing up the clay layer to the top. We'll be building it up. So
yeah. So
I'm hoping that's the way it'll work. So.
But anyway, it was they really got it going on down there, and just got such a wide variety of things going. And of course, y'all, I'm not telling you anything y'all don't know. That Danny is just such a breadth of knowledge and depth of knowledge as well. And Wanda too. Yeah. Don't let Wanda kid you. She knows a thing or two as well.
That, one thing, can you pull the garden planter back up again on there?
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to talk to Danny about with my garden planter, I've got my sweet potatoes that I have in the ground to grow my slips and everything. I wanted to ask Danny. You don't have to pull it up. I remember now. I have where I'm going to set my okra out, and you know how okra grows up tall and you just have the ground underneath. I wanted to ask Danny if I could come in and plant sweet potatoes in between them to be like my ground cover, and then, because you don't dig the sweet potatoes until I think October or somewhere, in the fall, and then your okra is going to be finished then anyway. So I was wondering if I could just interplant those together. If any of y'all know that, I would love to hear what y'all think about it too.
I did want to tell Danny that I did catch on the live show last night. I didn't realize because I had missed their carousel box video. We knew he got the Vardaman potatoes. I didn't sweet potatoes out of the carriage seed box, but I didn't know you got our carousel. Okay. I didn't know you had got that cowhorn okra. You're gonna love it. And you were talking about having to bend over the okra that you currently plant. Yeah. You're gonna have to get on a ladder just to bend this over. You're gonna be thinking Jack and the Beanstalk kind of stuff. I mean, I assume it's gonna do as well there. I have no reason to think it wouldn't. But what we were talking about, guys, is this cowhorn okra. It'll grow okra this long and still be soft.
Yeah, be tender.
That big around and that long. Yeah, tender. I mean, not still you can still slice it up and cook it, and it's amazing. And so I'm glad to know you got that, Danny. Probably if I'd have thought about it, I'd have figured Danny might want that. All right, let's see.
And Faye says she not only has clay, but she lives in a low area, not fun for gardening. You need to do some raised beds, Faye.
Yeah,
and that'll help you to be able to do it. And then, let's see, Bandana Grandma says, will moringa grow if the seeds were exposed to below freezing temps? If anybody knows the answer to that question,
well, Danny knows the answer to that question because he knows the answer to all the questions.
Everything. That's right. That's right.
I don't know.
Off-grid Nation says he wants to see the banana tree produce. I would like to see the banana tree produce too.
Yeah.
I think Juana said it was 4 years old. I think is what she told me. So maybe.
Wouldn't that be cool? I like me some bananas. I'd love to be able to grow a banana tree. That'd be fantastic.
Okay. Danny's saying that the sweet potatoes I might have to walk on the vines, and they might grow up the stalks and break them. So that might not be a good idea. I might have to rearrange my garden plan then.
Okay. Well.
Or you could just move the fence over a little bit.
Yeah. Just move the fence over. That's all.
Well, the animals have been right there. It ought to be fertile. We've already moved the fence over one time.
Yeah. That's the trouble is, though, that's where that's a path for the tractor.
Just build a new gate.
Yeah, why not? See how it works? Yes, ma'am. Yes, dear. So, look, before we run out of time, I just wanted to say we did finally accomplish what we, probably not all of what we went there for, but we did finally sit down at the table, and we did talk about some marriage relationship stuff.
We did.
And I don't know if Danny and Wanda last night, if during the part that we missed, if they teased what the topics we covered, but so I won't just in case they didn't, I won't blow it. But we basically cut two videos, one of which we'll post on our channel, the other of which they'll post on their channel. And then we will share the links with each other because we both got a Homestead Heart Marriage Tips, Homestead Heart playlist on our own channels, but they include each other's videos. So you can get to the playlist from our channel and also from their channel, and all of each other's videos are included in that playlist. So Danny and them are going to get theirs done and uploaded, and they're going to let me know when it goes live, and I'll plan to have ours ready to go live like the next day, or I think that's what we decided, the next day or within a couple of days. And but that's not going to be the end of it, because guess what's happening in a couple of months? We're going back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
To Deep South Homestead.
Woo!
Woo-hoo.
It's going to be less than 2 months though.
Yeah, it's actually less than 2 months.
And they did tell, so you can tell.
Oh, okay. So we did a section on on finances, because finances is something that shipwrecks a lot of marriages, especially even early on, but really at a lot of different times during the marriage.
It can, yeah.
And then a section on communication, and they really go hand in hand. You know, in fact, I may sneak some snippets out of the finances video to include in the section on communication, because they really do go hand in hand.
They really do.
And but there'll be more, because we are going for a record. Alderman Farms, mark my words, Alderman Farms will hold the record for most trips to Deep South Homestead. Now, Danny let it slip that when we go next time for our third trip, somebody will have already been there 3 times. They hadn't yet. Right now, we're tied in second for 2. With 2 trips. But by the time we get back, somebody will have upped the ante and will have been there 3 times. No problem. Because you know what that means? We'll go back. And we'll be there a 4th time and a 5th time. And however long it takes to maintain the crown of having been to Deep South Homestead more times than anybody else. Now. And I'm going to have me some lemon blueberry cake every time I go.
Well, I don't know. But
I don't know if I will or not.
No, because when we went, we had persimmon. And that was good.
Oh, that persimmon cake was so good.
Now
too.
we've had the lemon blueberry, so you might just need to leave it up to her.
Yeah,
because
whatever it'll be good. Yeah, just surprise us, Wanda. Surprise us.
No, she don't need to do anything. But anyway, that was a very good treat.
No, you don't have to do anything, but we will be so happy if you do. So keep an eye out for that. So again, either tonight or maybe tomorrow, we'll be posting the tour of Deep South Homestead, and then in the coming days, you will be getting Danny and Wanda's financial discussion with us, all 4 of us, and then a couple of days after that, or a day after that, whenever that is, you'll get ours on communication. So.
Yeah. It's really fun. It was really fun getting together and getting to talk about that kind of stuff and seeing where each other's come from, and each one of us really just going back from our backgrounds and everything. Everybody just had different things to add to the discussion. So
yeah.
It was really a fun time and learning for us too. You know. And, you know, to learn about what other people do. You can always glean information or glean some kind of knowledge from other people.
If you're open to listen.
Yeah.
You know, and
as long as you don't think you've arrived. We don't think we've arrived yet.
No, that's right. No, I mean, no, we haven't. And I know that because I stub my toe pretty often.
Hey, I just had to tell him a while ago, you know, he's not listening to me. You know?
See there? See there?
Right here on this show.
Right here on live TV. Man. Oh, and look, also, I'm going to be doing a series, and it won't be part of this playlist necessarily, but I'm going to be doing a series of marriage tips for men. If you follow us on Instagram or on Facebook, then you'll know what I'm talking about. I've got these rules of engagement and matrimony that I've put together over the years. I used to teach it to law enforcement cadets because the divorce rate among public safety people is like double the national average. And when you figure the national average is 50%, that ain't good.
No.
And so anyway, I'm going to do a little video on each one of those and call it Marriage Tips for Men, something like that. So keep an eye out for that, and I'm not sure when that'll come. I still am kicking around. I want to do my critical incident stress series. I want to do it right, so that's why I haven't released any yet, because I'm still thinking about format and how I want to put that together. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, there'll be a link in the bottom of this description. In the description of this video, I do want you to go down there. If you have not gotten your free PDF guide of how to survive the aftermath of a critical incident, go get it. Yes, it's going to put you on our mailing list, but no, we're not going to be spamming you. And listen, this is stuff you can use. This is useful information to help you survive the aftermath of trauma. It's the exact same stuff that helped us through the grace and mercy of Christ, helped us survive the emotional aftermath of what happened to me back in December. And I feel bad that we didn't, go ahead.
I know we're running late, but Bandana Grandma says, wife rule number 1, never correct your husband in public. Ha, ha, ha. But no, that's really true.
Yeah, it really is.
That really is a true thing, and I have a hard time with that.
I got a new rule. Hey,
no, it's your husband.
Thank y'all for watching. Just remember this, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, including chastising your husband, do it all to the glory of God. Y'all, it didn't bother me a bit.
What did I do? Did I correct?
Yeah, you don't even remember? Mm-mm. It just happened 30 seconds ago. No, I'm kidding. Y'all, it's fine.
What did I do?
Wait, we got to say bye. Say bye, Patty.
Bye, Patty.
Thank y'all for watching. We'll be here. We're not fixing to have a knockdown drag out. We don't have knockdown drag outs. So watch.
What did I do?
Bye.